line of attack is defense. So I hear your point. I definitely do. I like the point about D Wade. Fair enough. But I still think for what's required to be a football player, it's very, very different. And that's why I side with them. My next claim is the World Cup is the most entertaining sport event. Period.
Facts.
One of the things I like about the NBA Finals, for example, is that it's like the same team that you face at bare minimum 4 times. And
Especially this year, bro. The World Cup is, man. Yes, the World Cup is entertaining. And it's the biggest entertainment in the world, bro. When it comes to sports. I actually think overall it's the biggest entertainment in the world, bro. I don't think there's anything bigger than that, bro. Even Michael Jackson's concert was not as big as the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I reckon it's none come close. I want to see what this guy's gonna say, but none come close too. The entertainment World Cup gives us, especially this one, 2026. God, man, we just lost. I'm rooting for the African countries, of course. Congo just lost. Oh shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's part of the game. You know, now I just gotta find another favorite team to follow. There's still a few. I'm supporting Morocco, and Ghana's still in there too. So still got my eyes, and Australia, of course. But yeah, the World Cup. World Cup's the biggest entertainment in the world. You can't take that away.
I think it adds a certain complexity to it. I think it adds a certain nuance that I just don't think you get in these one-game eliminations.
I think the complexity and nuance of playing a team that you might not have seen for 4 years is a bit more nuanced, no?
Yeah, but then it's like one game, you can get lucky and then move on. We see that in all these single elimination
But that's just the argument between football and basketball. Basketball is a 7-game sport. No, but
this is argument. We're like,
that's making it more. What's more entertaining, football or basketball? This is about the World Cup.
Don't get me wrong. It's definitely a form of excitement. I'm not trying to say that it's not exciting. I think for me as a basketball fan, one of the things I love about the playoffs and the finals in particular is the chess match of it all. Is the fact that even you can come out and lose game 1 and then you can make an adjustment and then the other team counters and the other team counters your counter. And it's such a fun chess match to watch.
It's
to watch these two teams go back and forth and try and outduel each other, outmatch each other. And then the fact that after 4 games, everyone knows exactly what's going on between both teams. Both teams really start to...
That's exciting though. When I know what both teams are going to do, when I've seen the matchup 4 different times already.
Meaning you know what you're trying to do and now you have to try and figure a way how to beat it.
I can't lie. The excitement out of that starts to fade after game 5. Obviously now if it's a tight series, game 6, game 7, hey, I think game 7, for good reason, is the best 2 words in sports, right? Yeah. That's why they say it. But it's because that's an elimination game. Everything is on the line there. Now imagine you don't have to wait 6 games to see that game 7. That's the World Cup final.
But I think the 6 games is what adds a certain level of intensity that you just don't get in like that single elimination. Because you have 6 games of build-up, of intensity, of matchups, and you just grow to hate the opponent so much in a way that you just don't get when you face them once, win, lose, and then you're on to the next opponent.
Do you not think the 4 years in between, though, where you're waiting for these single game eliminations to happen also builds excitement?
4 years is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of time for excitement to build.
It's also a lot of time for it to fade.
The fact that everything relies on 90 minutes, no mistakes are being allowed, I think makes that more exciting because you have to be perfect.
If you were to drop somebody without any knowledge of the World Cup or the NBA playoffs and said, you're going to watch one game of this, I think 10 out of 10 people are walking away saying, I'm watching that basketball game again. I think that people run around for 90 minutes for the equivalent of a layup or 2. The level of excitement.
Nah, I disagree. You know why? Because the World Cup, right? The World Cup is literally called the World Cup. You know what? I think it beats all this is because everyone and their mama tune in to watch that. It's that entertaining. Why? Because it involves a country, right? You may never play the game. You may never even have watched it or whatever. But imagine just here that your country is, excuse me. Imagine here your country is doing crazy business out here. Everyone is watching, you know. And it's the world sport, bro. Like you said, soccer, first of all, it's not hard to understand. You know, I can say the same for NBA, but what I'm trying to say is it brings countries together. It like involves everyone. Whereas NBA is nothing. It's more about the fans and supporters that the fans and the supporters that really like the game to be watching that. I can guarantee you everyone's watching that finals of the NBA, or everyone and their mama are watching it. No. Why? Because it's not a country. It's not like, it doesn't involve everyone. When you do something that involves everyone, right? And it, like, basically what I'm trying to say, NBA doesn't involve everyone, It only involves fans and basically just the fans, really, that are into that sport. You don't even have to be into soccer, but to enjoy the competition that goes on in the World Cup, right? Because this is your country on the line. This is players going somewhere to represent the country, You feel involved in a way. You feel like, and all that, like, fans to fans, like, talks, debates, and all that, bro. It just brings in, like, it's easy for someone to feel involved. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's the biggest sport, because it involves everyone. It's almost like us that are watching feel like we also like part of this competition. By watching our players go out there and fight their asses off. You know what I mean? Whereas the NBA is just another game that only the fans really that into NBA will watch. Not everyone is sitting there like the whole family. Of course, there's families that that are really into NBA, yes, but like that compared to the World Cup, it's not just your family. It's not just your family, friends. It's not just, bro. This is the whole country. I could walk down the street, right? The chance of me bumping into someone who is who knows about the World Cup and what's happening, the chances are so high compared to me walking down the street and be like, oh, did you catch that final on the NBA final? It's like, what? Bro, Americans have to realize NBA is only big in America. Yes, you have fans all over the world, but it's not as much as compared to the World Cup. The World Cup is big because it involves everyone, and everyone feels involved. It's like a moment of just happiness and sadness. It's uniting people. Like watching this World Cup 2026, but you're seeing fans. I'm seeing all this stuff online talking about how it's uniting. They're saying how the people in power, they come into the realization that people in power, they're the one dividing people, because you can clearly see how people that are really meant to like hate each other, not really hating each other, they're actually uniting through the game. See Mexico and Congo dancing together. You're seeing like people. I'm not sure if I'm not saying Mexico and Congo are meant to be enemies or whatever, but I'm saying countries that they've put in place to like make them hate each other so they can easily control them. These people are how you're realizing we literally have no problem. It's just the leaders that making us hate each other out here. And that's what I'm saying. The World Cup unites people. It's one of those times in 4 years where people just feel like, hey, put our worries aside. Let's see what our countries can do. You know what I'm saying? Where's the NBA, bro? It's like just another, just another tournament, to be honest. It's not as big. And that's got to tell you why it's, it's like, how can I say it, man? It's like, for it to be I'm not saying as important, but I'm saying for it to be as big, it has to be entertaining, right? Because that's what they're talking about. And I can stand here and say with my 10 toes down, the World Cup is more entertaining. Easy. I don't know why this guy's on.
Excitement on the field is nothing compared to level excitement, NBA playoffs.
So the level of scoring one goal in a 1-0 win is not as exciting as seeing teams score numerous times against each other across a game.
No, not to me.
No.
I'd rather see a soccer game 92-70.
Hear me out. I watch both sports.
Okay.
I can respect basketball. I appreciate basketball. But obviously, you're not getting as excited every time your team scores, because overall, your team's probably going to score 120 points. Over a football game, one goal can decide a game. Therefore, the excitement level for that one goal is way bigger unless it's like a buzzer beater at the end of a game in basketball.
But you're only getting excited about that one goal. You're hyped up about the possibility of goals, but you get excited about that singular goal. You see what I'm
This guy's not getting it, bro. Like one goal, for example, I just watched Congo, right? Congo scored a mad goal against England in the first 6 minutes, right? Bro, the whole game up to the 85th or 70th minute, bro, it's like your adrenaline is just like, bro, don't concede. We're just trying to take this home. The whole game, bro, you're on your feet. You know, because you're hoping we score some more goals or England doesn't come back and score and then we'll become ties, which is going to make to even more tense, you know, because now it's like draw. He can go anywhere, you know, either England can take it or Congo can take it, you know what I'm saying? So the whole time you're like, bro, it's the best. I'm just going to say it's the best, man. I feel like, yeah, this guy doesn't understand, bro. As a soccer player, you got to understand that stuff, man. People, they think, oh, one goal and then just sitting there like, yes, it's boring if you're not involved. The World Cup makes you feel involved, especially if it's your country, you know? Your country, your favorite country, or you know, a country that you support, your favorite players playing it, but you feel involved, you know. And that 90 minutes, if you're up, you gotta hope nothing goes wrong. Either we continue to go more up on goals, or we hold whatever we already scored. And imagine that throughout the whole 90 minutes, bro. Bro, I'd be shaking, bro. I was shaking watching Congo, man.
What I'm saying?
But the whole game is built around that goal. So that when it finally...
The hype of it, right? So what makes you excited? It's the goal. It's the winning.
Right.
Winning gets you excited. Goals gets you wins.
Right.
You're hyped about the possibility. You're not excited.
But my point is you have to watch every single minute of the game to see that goal. In basketball, you can realistically wait until the last 5 minutes of a game to then see how the game's going to end up because that's really the point that matters. In football, you
cannot... I can say the same about soccer, though.
Absolutely not. No. Well, how could you only...
If it's a close game, it's a close game. We could watch the last 2 minutes of any sport if it's a close game.
No, but the goal can happen at any point of the game. In basketball, the points...
Yo. One sec.
They're going to continue accruing. Therefore, the goal is going to create much more excitement than just watching the entire game, seeing point after point after point.
Basketball, you're not getting excited after every single point like you aren't because it's happening more frequently. But at the same time, where is the excitement coming from, right? Like, what is your definition of excitement?
Okay, first and foremost, it's not like during the game. I know you guys might disagree, but most football fans would agree with me here. It's not like during the game in a 1-0 win, for example.
Stay in there, man. Take pictures of you.
I'm recording, by the way, Mike.
Recording.
You do your thing, bro.
I'll stay in recording.
Nothing is happening until the goal. Teams are trying to score, right? There's opportunities, there's plays, there's last-ditch tackles and stuff like that. That's happening.
What do you think is more entertaining? The World Cup or the NBA final?
What do you mean?
That's entertaining.
Depends. World Cup final.
What?
World Cup final and NBA final, or just normal World Cup game?
Both.
The normal World Cup game.
A normal World Cup game and a normal NBA.
Depends. Depends who's playing the NBA. Like, what do you mean? If it's a boring game, then what, dude? You understand?
Nah, bro.
That builds the excitement because you always feel like the goal could be happening. And then, of course, when it happens, it all bubbles over. But that's even looking at just a 1-0. Did you watch the last World Cup final?
I don't know.
So the World Cup final finished 3-3, right? The last World Cup, a team was up 2-0 at halftime. Going into the final 10 minutes of the game, they were set to win. A guy scored 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes to send it to extra time, 2-2, out of nowhere. Then, in extra time, that guy scored a 3rd goal. He became the only player in the second player in World Cup history, scored a hat-trick in the final. The other team scored, then it went to penalties. So that's a 6-goal thriller with a penalty shootout to decide it.
It sounds like 2 of the last 3 Stanley Cup Finals games. I think that
But the stakes of a World Cup final are way bigger than the Stanley Cup final. And that's basically part of my argument about why the World Cup is more exciting than the Stanley Cup or the NBA Finals.
March Madness is way better than the World Cup.
According to.
Give me a moment from the World Cup. We could talk about Christian Leitner.
Kylian Mbappe scoring
Wait,
in a World
can I
Cup
talk?
final. You asked me a question.
We could talk. Yeah, and I'm talking. We could talk about Grant Hill to Christian Leitner. We could talk about Chris Jenkins' last shot. All the Cinderella stories.
Yeah.
Way more moments.
Than the World Cup.
Basketball is about the moments. You're talking about the score is 1-0 and trying to convince us that that's exciting. That is not exciting.
The goal is
that
the
is
moment.
anticipation, not exciting.
You think the NBA worse?
It's not as entertaining as the World Cup, bro. What? Come on.
You don't understand, huh? As a regular game.
Regular game.
I'm saying it's the World Cup.
The World Cup. First of all, the World Cup is just the whole World Cup is not a regular game.
Dead game. It's watching a dead country. Like two dead countries versus each other.
It's not entertaining. It's not entertaining to you, but like people from that country, it's very entertaining to them, isn't it? And majority of the people around the
You
world.
said the same thing. You're saying that because you're not an NBA fan like that.
No. What I'm saying is the reason soccer is even big is because it makes people involved. You don't even have to be like a soccer fan or whatever. All you just gotta hear is your country out here, thingy fighting for to win. You don't even have to. You just gotta know the basic, and that's why that's what the FIFA is like the
NBA
biggest.
Final, bro. NBA
Man, I've never watched one NBA final.
Exactly, because you don't understand.
No, because first of all, like my country's not even there for me to. Let's say for example, okay, if the NBA right was like the FIFA World Cup where it involves teams, like if we had like a Congo basketball team and all other countries had the same thing and they all come together, it's like a FIFA thing.
It would be.
I most likely have watched it.
It would be a thing. It is a thing.
It is a thing.
It is a thing.
But why is it not at the same level?
It's soccer. Soccer's the biggest sport.
That's what I'm saying. Why is it the biggest sport? Because it's more entertaining.
No, it's not.
Oh, nigga, I ain't trying to have this conversation.
I know what your argument is, but
Nah.
pretty stupid.
You just brought up a moment Christian Laettner doing that. The anticipation was for him to do that.
No, it wasn't. Nobody knew that was going to happen.
No one knows any goal is about to happen. That doesn't make any sense.
Because it never happens.
Of
The
course,
score is 0-0 and you're convincing me.
That's where you're wrong. How can a World Cup game not have any goals? Every team has to progress. It's knockout.
I get
A
it.
team has to win.
There's a goal once in a while, but tell me about the moments.
Oh, every time.
No, tell me about the moments of the World Cup that are better than Christian Laettner's shot, Chris Jenkins' shot.
Sure. Kylian Mbappe scoring a hat-trick at the World Cup final.
Don't remember it. I don't remember. You know Christian Laettner's shot, and that's like 30 years before you were born.
Everybody on the planet, bar you, knows Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final.
No.
I don't have anything to say, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Right,
You just told me Christian Laettner is more
work,
impressive than Kylian Mbappe hat-trick. What can I say to that? My next claim: football.
Nah, I'm out. I'm out, but I still stand on the World Cup being the biggest sport and biggest entertainment in the world, man. None come close. To be honest, I don't think anything come close. Not any form of entertainment come close to the World Cup, really. It brings countries together, right? So, yeah. Full of brains.